Whether you know it or not, the 3D printing community is now being censored. We've gone for years being able to download and print just about anything we want without any interference from anyone, whether it be a political idea or just something that we think is cool. We've been able to send it out to the world, anybody can print it, and we enjoy it. Well, as of today, I've found out that we no longer can do that. I remember during presidential election, we could print anything that had to do with Biden, Trump. It was all there. Now you wonder, where do I get all this stuff? Well, the main source that I personally got from was Thingiverse. You can find anything you want on Thingiverse. Not anymore. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, well, here's the thing. Today's world events with Russia and Ukraine, a lot of people have put items on Thingiverse for anyone around the world to print. Well, those things that have been there are now gone. They've been blocked. You cannot search for them. You cannot find them. I've got some perfect examples. I went today, I looked. Some of the things have been reposted. They may last 10, 15 minutes. Then they're pulled off. So let's get to the examples. Here's one example. This here is an item that was put on Thingiverse by user Oko_7. It was posted on March 2nd. Well, the funny thing is, if you go to search for it, you can't find it. And what that says is Russian ship, go F yourself. That's been big news lately. And we all know that that deals with the soldiers and people that were on Snake Island in the Black Sea. Well, if you go to try and find it, you notice up here in the top, you'll see the item number. It's 5269999. Anybody that's used Thingiverse knows that you can put that number in and you can find that. But if you go to Thingiverse, I'll show you what you find. This is what you get. You will find this on several items. The interesting thing is if you go to the web page for the gentleman that put that on there, this is what you find. Now, if you look here, he's in the Ukraine. Makes you wonder, why is it blocked? This person has put many, many designs on Thingiverse. If you look at the top here, it says 0 designs. Everything this man put on there is now gone. His whole collection of everything he's put on there, whether it had to do with what's going on in Ukraine or not, is now missing. He's not the only one. I found another person that did this here. He made this and posted it. As you can see, it's a Putin urinal target. Well, it was posted on the 28th. Kind of interesting. You search for that, you get that same 404 code. It's no longer there. I tried to reach out to the gentleman that put this up there, and I haven't heard back from him. But I do know, and this is the really, really interesting fact. If you've been on Thingiverse and downloaded something like we've done, we found that the files are still on there. The files can still be found if you know the actual location path for that file. They're still there, but you cannot search for it. You can't browse through and find it. This is where it gets really interesting. Okay, Thingiverse is owned by MakerBot. Well, anybody in the 3D printing community knows MakerBot is a big name. They were bought out by Stratasys, another 3D printing company. Here's the kicker. MakerBot is located in Brooklyn, New York. Well, Stratasys is an American and Israeli company. One of their headquarters, the American headquarters, is located in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Now, rumor mill has it that all these items missing from Thingiverse are due to the Russian hacking. Well, that's quite possible. We all know that the hacking is happening, but why is it happening to an American company? That's interesting. If what our government says is that they're doing everything they can to protect American interests, I don't see it personally. But it's not only American interests that are being affected. Thingiverse is a worldwide site. There are people from all over the world that are part of this community. Everyone in in this community helps each other out. I've seen it. I've done it myself. I spoke to a gentleman in Amsterdam and helped him with a design that I made. Now, here's the other thing. Some of these items that are being pulled off of Thingiverse are getting re-uploaded. I know there was one design that was on there. It was the Ghost of Kiev. It was a stencil that was designed, and it has been re-uploaded over 100 times, and it only lasts a few minutes before it's pulled. Now, is this the American government doing it? Is it this American company? Is it the Russians? Who knows? But the big thing is, it is being censored. You can't search anything dealing with it. Now, I've gone back and I've searched for anything dealing with Ukraine, Kyiv, Putin, Russia. It's all very basic things. What I've noticed is anything that seems to be critical of the actions going on in the Ukraine currently is being pulled off of there. Now, I don't understand why. If this company is supposed to be apolitical, why is this being pulled? That's a really good question. Why? Why are we being censored? Now, I've got another thing to show you. This is a stencil for the Ghost of Kiev. Yes, this is on Prussia website, but it is essentially the same thing that was on Thingiverse. When you first search it, you have a hard time finding it. It seems to be being pulled off repeatedly. Now, this is my list of what I've seen that has definitively been pulled, but these are the actual addresses of that file where it's located, and it is still there. As you see, Putin urinal thing, that's the location. The Ghost of Kiev, there's that location. The RU, that one is about the Ukraine or the Russian ship. That's the location of that. These files are still located there. They can still be downloaded, but you can't see the listing for it. Those listings are hidden. Many people seem to be re-uploading anything they put, and it seems to last only minutes. We've seen some that once they start pulling the files off, if you have them in like a saved collection, it disappears from there. And as you saw with Oka_7, everything dealing with his account has been deleted. It's erased. Every product that he has put on there has disappeared. Anything that he's put in his collection that he wanted to print is gone. And we've dealt with his account before. We've looked at some of the things that he has designed or put on there. And there were many things that did not deal with anything dealing with what's going on in Ukraine. But everything has been wiped. There is no sign of it. This is happening to a lot of users, many users. If it seems to be critical of Putin and his actions, it disappears. This is the censorship I'm talking about. We need to do something. We need to get the word out. The 3D printing community is one of the best communities I've ever been a part of. They're welcoming. They're here to help the world. The 3D printing community came out in droves. When the pandemic hit in the United States, so many people in the 3D community decided to print mask straps and masks and anything dealing with the pandemic that they thought would help. They started printing it. This community cares, but we're being held back. Everything's being shrouded from us. Is that right? No. Do I know how to get the word out to everyone? No. This is the way I think is best for me to get the word out. I hope it works. Voices should not be suppressed because they voice an opinion. If you think this message is needed to be heard around the world, pass it along. However you see fit. Whether it's forwarding my video to others, do it. Whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, wherever. Even if you just pass the word by mouth, just tell somebody what's going on. Something needs to change. Now, I've looked, and I would love to understand why an American company is allowing suppression of ideals and opinions. Maybe the word needs to get out that this company is doing it. But thanks for listening to my rant. I hope you learned something. I hope it helps the world, opens eyes, gives the 3D community their voice back. Thank you.